Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Beard Maketh the Man, the podcast that us, the Beard Guys, do. I am Ben. Hello.
I'm also Ben. Hello.
That's Lam, claiming to be Ben. Welcome back. It's been a while.
That'd be a turn of events, wouldn't it? If we were both Ben.
If
we'd actually swapped names at the start, and just now we were revealing I'm actually Ben. It wouldn't be that big of a
confusing
zinger.
Dynamic.
It wouldn't be a big zinger, but it'd be a zinger. You'd be like, well, we had you for 3 years.
Then we could have called the channel The Two Bens or Ben Squared or something like that.
But no, you would be called Lam and I would be called Ben. If we just swapped names. You're so offended by being called Lam. It's like, no, I'm not even as a joke.
I don't like
this
being
is serious. Is my name.
Animals. I'm a vegan. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
All that vegan cheese you keep eating.
Lunchtime today.
You're giving
until I have dinner after this podcast, which is leftover pizza.
Yeah, and Haribo.
Which definitely has meat on it.
Anyway.
Yeah, so the last one we did was the post-Gamescom one, the Eve Valkyrie specials. So looking forward to sitting down. Having a bit of a natter about things.
Nat.
Yeah, there's probably a lot to talk about. I guess tanks. Probably start with tanky stuff first. World of tanks. What's going on in the world of tanks?
In my world of tanks.
What's going on in your world of tanks?
I'm glad you asked.
Tell me.
Not much.
Not much.
What's new? The War Stories came out the other day, I suppose. The
War
new
Stories
one,
are out.
Which we didn't have to pay for, which I was quite happy with, because there was that question mark of will we have to pay for it with the. It's free to download, so there's that kind of thing twigged in the back of my mind as to maybe in the future.
The way they worded it on when the first two came out, it looked a little bit like we thought they might try and charge for them, but they.
But yeah, I played the first chapter of the new one. I don't know if they've upped the difficulty or if I just care less. I died a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. It must have taken me about an hour just to get past the first bit. It got to the point, when you're playing a game where you get a bit too relaxed and then you get annoyed because you're not doing too well, and then you just rush it even more. Where you should really just kind of take a step back, actually try.
I think you just assume it's going to be super easy, so you don't really.
Yeah, it's like, I can kill this person in one shot, so I'll just charge him and do him in one shot, when actually it's kind of luck.
Or you've just got so used to that. The only time we play tanks is when we're just doing Battlebeards or streaming
Death Stars,
giving absolutely zero shits about what we're really doing in game.
It's hard.
It's hard to suddenly try and turn it back on and play properly.
Still grind out tanks when you're in. I'm always in that kind of mentality of.
Just fucking about.
That's it. Let's enjoy it. And I enjoy it the most when I give the least amount of fucks.
Badger suggested today that we should change the name of Battlebeards to Two Guys Arsing Around in Tanks Talking Shit, because we felt there'd been some confusion recently with people like leaving comments, people kind of seeming. So there was one on a stream video. There's some on Battlebeards. People kind of being. Confused, yeah, or being like
misled.
I don't know. We was confused. I don't know if they were confused, but it was confusing to me because there were people, commenting, being like, "Oh, you this was a bad game," or you would have done better. The stream one was a guy saying you would have done better if you'd been paying attention to the game and not talking to Twitch chat. And then one's on Battlebeards where they're like, "Oh, I can have a better game than this," and it's weird because I guess those are probably people who've maybe just come across and seen it for the first time and don't really
9 years old,
don't really get, or they're just 9 years old and just talking rubbish, which is a lot of YouTube. But
they like to look smart whenever they have the opportunity to look smart. Like,
they want to.
Well, obviously they're playing bad, so I can tell them to play bad, and I won't be wrong.
I guess so.
When actually, you don't get it.
Yeah, it's probably what I think that's what these things often come back to, is because I don't really talk. Well, I talk to lots of young guys on our Discord and stuff, and on the internet. This is going down a really dodgy road. But I don't talk to I don't fucking talk to kids. I don't have kids. Not many of my friends have kids. The ones that do are like 4 or 5.
Yeah. They're not that interested.
So yet. There aren't any 8 through 15-year-olds that I have conversations in my life. So I kind of Lam works in a school, so you have a little bit more. You're more aware of how those kids kind of
their mentality.
Yeah, their mentality. For me, I'm just trying to remember it from 15 years ago.
It's different. It's bad when you work in a school and you see kids acting how you used to act. You're like, oh, you're such a twat.
Yeah.
And you hate yourself for it. You're like, I remember me doing this, and they look like idiots, so I must have looked like idiots. And when they try and get away with things in front of teachers and they think they got away with it, it's actually the teacher doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Care.
I see so much shit go down. Some kid was rolling up a cigarette at the back of a class the other day.
Yeah.
And it didn't even get reported.
I've done that at school.
Actually, I'm at a quite bad school. But still, I walked through a class and someone had sparked up like a joint at the back of the class.
Wow.
Yeah. And taken a hit, then doused it when they realised it like chonged out the whole back of the room. The school's pretty nuts.
I love the brashness and the naivety of that act.
And then being like,
so bold.
Oh, it's Turkish tobacco. That's why my eyes got that haze. I can't string a sentence together, and I'm a bit nervous.
Man, maybe I should get a job in a school. It sounds like a riot.
It is different every day. It's great.
It's like a laugh.
But you know,
don't get this shit at my work.
No one goes 420 every day.
Pretty chilled. No one's ever sparked up a joint. Or if maybe because they're just a bit older, they're a bit more subtle about it. So they they do it in the stairwell or something.
Oh, where are the cool kids? Do you have a water cooler? Is that a thing that people do anymore? Hang out by the water cooler and discuss Greg's anatomy?
No, I don't know. Well, I mean, there are water coolers around. I haven't noticed them being a focal point for gathering. People tend to hang out in there's like a big area outside the lifts where there's an Xbox. There's a big screen where people do meetings and stuff, and a lunch area, but there's an Xbox, and there's people sitting there playing FIFA all the fucking time. There's one dude who just seems to play FIFA all the time. I don't know what his fucking job is there, but he's there playing FIFA all the time against different people. We call him the FIFA guy because he's just always playing FIFA.
No one knows what his name is.
No, I don't know.
Maybe he's there as a test. He's waiting for someone to tell him to get back to work, and it's like, well done, you got a promotion.
I kind of I compared him to like a bit of a kind of opposite of that guy from Office Space. The guy in Office Space who is a guy who works this company, and it turns out that they sacked him years ago but forgot to tell him. So he's been working there doing the same job but not getting paid for like 5 years. It's a comedy film.
Yeah. Is that the one with the guy with the big thick glasses?
Yeah. He's a bit of a big guy. Looks really nerdy. He's quite mean.
I've seen like clips.
But they get rid of him. They like tell him, they're like, oh, we're firing you, and the best part is we haven't even paid you for the last 5 years. Or something like that. But this guy reminds me of that. I feel like he had a job there, and then they kind of forgot that he had a job there, and he's just there with no job but getting paid. So kind of opposites he's, and just plays FIFA.
And he definitely gets paid? Maybe he's homeless.
Maybe.
That'd be a solid move for a homeless person.
Yeah, he's quite well groomed, but it's not to say homeless people,
can't be well groomed.
So maybe
if they have the opportunity to play FIFA, maybe they would be.
I'll go up and give him a nice close sniff tomorrow.
Maybe offering some musk. Wine or some booze in a brown bag. See if he takes
some Buckfast or something.
Maybe place it underneath a basket with a stick and a rope. You can kind of pull it like a trap.
Is that how you get one?
That's how you get it. Maybe a crumbs of skag leaving up to it. So a piece of skag, and then under he goes. Whoop! No stereotypes here. No. Guess the nationality of the FIFA man now. He's skag and wine.
I think he's Spanish. So
so maybe some sausage.
Some sausage, yeah, some chorizo.
Maybe he's a Catalonian. There's a thing in the news today.
He could be.
He's not a Spanish man. He's a Catalonian.
Yeah, I remember at my old work there were people who, I don't know if it was joking or serious or a bit of both, but they'd identify as Catalan rather than Spanish. It's a big thing. I'm hugely naive to it, so don't.
I think it's the equivalent of Cornwall being like, right, technically we can declare independence, so we will.
I am Cornwallian.
I'm Ben of Cornwallis.
Cornholio. That's something else.
Right, so I think what was actually on the list of things we should
That's World of Tanks covered. What were we talking about? War stories being hard.
No,
and then we really diverged off from war stories being hard and not taking the game very seriously, and comments and criticisms. I'm
still grinding out tanks. I'm committed to the game still, if only half-assedly. I am still trying to grind out tanks. The ST1 I've mentioned numerous occasions is shit because I had it stock and now I've just upgraded the gun and it's half decent now, which is nice. But still, I'm at that point on half the tanks where you get the top upgrade on the tier 9 tank and it's like a 200k XP slog and I'm at like 60,000 and you're like, oh, it's so far.
It takes a while. I feel like to get through those things now on the game, I think you need to either
have gold.
You spend a lot of gold, or you need to be someone who's quite social on Xbox, and you have people you platoon with regularly, because platooning with people makes it a lot more fun and relaxing. And if you platoon with not shit people, you'll probably win more, and your XP will come in quicker.
True.
Or or there's some people who lone wolf it, but that's probably more likely to people maybe a lot more time in their hands. Maybe they're not working, or they're not working full time, or they don't have. Or they're physically impaired, or they don't have too much going outside of work. So people with lots of time that just like sitting there playing.
Yeah.
So I think it's tough to get through to do you're not going to sit there and do those marathon sessions just on one tank for hours and hours on your own.
It's because I kind of sporadically feel the urge to play the game. Like it might be once or twice a week. Yeah. I'll get in for work. I was like, oh, Abby's not home for another 2 hours. I can't be asked to boot up PUBG. I'll just
already had 4 wanks today.
I've already busted out 4 wanks at work today. Haven't been caught yet. But yeah, it's that's the other thing. At work I got recognised, so maybe I shouldn't start talking about wanking at work.
Oh, really?
Bloke, no, it's fine. He's got a beard. He's got a massive beard. It's great. His name's Tom.
A student?
No.
Okay, that seemed unlikely.
IT technician. But yeah, he's going out with one of my ex-housemates. He was like, I just walked past, he went, "Beard guys." I was like,
so he knows you sort through personal channels and then knows that
rather
you do that.
than
okay,
he doesn't know. Yeah. He was like, yeah. Then I think it was just after we got back from Cologne, and I was talking about EVE Online. And
nice.
He just started playing that. I was like, oh, I met this guy. He was like, oh, I don't know this guy, but maybe I'll let me into him. I was like, yeah, mate. I'm the guy you need to talk to. I was like, keep on the fucking down low, though.
Yeah, I haven't had anyone recognize me really. I mean, the only time, obviously, when we go to Tank Fest, lots of people recognize us, but that's that's kind of that's Tank Fest. There's like just a massive concentration of World of Tanks fans and players, and people know we'll be there and stuff. So that's kind of doesn't really count. But outside of that, I think the only time anyone's ever seen me outside of Tank Fest and like events we've been to in public and has recognised me was Avid Cap Wearer seeing me, who's a fan of ours, old school fan, who we've met a bunch of times. But I'd already met him before at Tankfest, but he randomly saw me at the local station where I live, getting off the train after work, like last year.
Did he shout at you?
He shouted at me. I had my headphones in, didn't hear, and I was like power walking off. He didn't manage to catch me. And I didn't realise till I got home and went on Discord. He's like, "Oh, do you live in so-and-so?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I think I just saw you." I was like, "For fuck's sake." It's like,
throw a brick at me, Kaz.
This could be the only fucking time this ever happens. And I've just ignored you and walked off because I had headphones on.
Savage.
Yeah, so sorry, Cap. So I told him to give me a shout. We'll have a beer next time. He's
I thought of something else to add to your list of things to do. Something we were talking about previously. Actually, there's a few things. One, because we were talking about the podcast and having...
guests?
Segments. I was trying to think of segment ideas. I've been thinking about ways me and Ben can go into competition with each other to really spice things up, just on the podcast and make things a bit more exciting, more for myself than for you. But I was trying to think of ideas of how to do competition. Ben was looking to maybe try and learn how to drive. He can't quite drive yet.
No. I don't have a driver's license.
Not only provisional. Have you got a provisional?
I've got a provisional. Yeah, I need to get the photo updated because the photo is over 10 years old, so it has expired.
How does it look? Is it all shaven?
I was yet to have grown a beard. I think I was 16. The photo on my provisional. So
a few ideas
pretty old.
If you think of any good ideas for competitions for me and Ben to have, obviously leave like ideas in the comments below. Or actually, it might be on iTunes, this, so just fucking tweet
Wherever.
Ben. Me versus Ben. Ben trying to learn how to drive.
Sounds like you're plugging up for some sort of race here, but I know it's not.
Trying to lose a certain amount of weight, because I'd lost a bunch, then I've put it all back on since I've been... Because I had that that period of time where I wasn't very well, and I lost a fuck ton of weight, and I've just put it all back on. So I want to lose that again. So I was like, oh, I can try and lose 50 pounds or something. And Ben tries to learn to drive and try and drive to a certain destination before I reach this target weight.
So imagine if we get to I learn to drive, and then you're within like 3 pounds of the target weight, and I set off on my drive, and it's going to take me like 6 hours to get up to Scotland, and you're like, right, I've got to lose 3 pounds, and you're like,
Laxido, fucking come on,
that'll
Abby.
fucking make a good vlog, wouldn't it?
Try and do a running something, but yeah, because
I like that idea a lot. I like it.
That would
it's a good motivator.
It's a really good motive for both of us.
Making it public,
but then,
it's a little bit of a...
But then there was like another thing where we could be like, we could do 100 games each of a tank and see how far we could get on that line. Do the same line.
That's a cool idea. I like that.
Something like that. And that we could maybe do a video on that, and other people can get involved and do the same thing and see the results.
A bunch of games in a tier 8 premium, see how much silver we can earn over X amount of games. Yeah, I like the idea of that.
But then I was trying to think of the consequences if we lose. See, this is the thing I was struggling with. One idea was we get to make a T-shirt for the other person to wear for like an occasion, but it can be, and obviously nothing racist,
not like Die Hard
nothing
style.
Crazy offensive. But I think that'd be funny. Like, take them out for a day trip somewhere, and they have to wear this horrific T-shirt. Either it depends how confident you are that you're going to win.
I mean,
do you reckon you could learn to drive before I lose 50 pounds? Is a lot of. It's like nearly 4 stone.
I don't know. I'm not really. I don't really like. I'm really sheepish in public with things like that. If even my friends are being a bit loud, it makes me really embarrassed. I'm a confident guy, but I don't like. I'm way too like sheepish in public with like tomfoolery. Unless I'm just smashed, I don't care.
Yeah, we could put a few bourbons in you maybe before.
But if it was some really bad like
I've
thing
got a few
I had
ideas.
to do that we agreed to, then I just like wouldn't tell you, and I'd just book in an intensive course like next week, and I'd just be done before it'd just be gone. You'd be like, oh well.
Okay, so it's got to be something that I know that you're not just gonna game and just win.
Well, it's a motivator.
What about
makes it happen?
Well, I'm not about to use 50 pounds in 2 weeks.
There's a more time restriction around.
Shaving your hair off your top of this head hair.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Like doing a number 1, or get the other person to give you a haircut.
I was thinking about doing that the other day just because getting a haircut annoys me, and it sometimes
it's an easy. I used to get that as a kid.
Yeah.
Because my parents are fucking lazy. It's like, we'll just give you a buzz, zip zip.
I do like my curly locks, but
you could do without them. Imagine, I was thinking short hair and a beard. That's a strong look. That's a fancy look.
Walter White.
I can't think of any other way. Maybe get the other person to eat a really spicy chili or something.
Yeah, that's more stuff like that. I'd be,
I like the T-shirt. You're not up for the T-shirt just because I've got something evil lurking.
Private, things in private but punishing. I can kind of handle more than not like in public, but less punishing.
Jimmy Savile's My Homeboy T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
depends where we were going, I suppose.
Going to a punk gig, you might be able to get away with that.
It's some fucking crusty punk probably punched me in the face.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I was trying to think of. But yeah, we can maybe talk about it and actually start the competition next podcast when we actually have like a solid thing.
We can talk about progress each time.
Yeah, but I think we should start that next podcast so we can discuss it in private or in the comments on Discord and actually get the rules down. Sure.
So any feedback or comments you guys have on that, let us know.
Any competition, anything goes.
Well, I think there's like the primary IRL competition of like Lam's weight loss versus me learning to drive. But then if you have other contests we can do in it's gaming stuff or whatever.
How would we go about recording that as well?
I don't know.
I could do like one of those
we just chat
photo
about
a day
thing. We don't need to make a video about it really. We just
I'm doing like a crazy dance and singing a song backwards, time lapse thing. Like go.
If we both manage to fulfill our goals like pretty much the same time, then it'll work out well for fuel efficiency if I give you a lift.
Oh shit! Yeah, carrying less weight.
It'd be less weight. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, that sounds good. I'd have to like take a picture of my weight or something when we start, and then post that, and then because we can't do this I'm gonna be an honest bastard. I'm gonna post it up. Oh, screen's gone off.
It's fine.
And that'll be fun. That's a motivator as well.
So what I need to do, looking forward a bit to when I am driving, I've got my license, I've got my little car, I'm driving around, pootling around.
You've got your nice buzz cut because you've lost.
Suddenly, after 2.5 years of Lam driving down to my house to record videos, suddenly Lam might think, hang on, I'm going to make this fucker drive to me. So I need to make sure that I keep your setup a little bit subpar at your house. Keep the hardware just a little bit, can't quite handle it. I need to start thinking of excuses and reasons.
The contract came through on the new house, which we've signed, so I might be moving to my new house soon, which has got
nice
3 rooms. So I'm going to have one of them as a studio.
Oh, fuck.
So it's already on the cards. I've already said to Abby, mate, this is my fucking room. Like, you can do whatever you want to the house. This is my area in here. It's my man cave.
That's cool.
You can decorate the fucking room pink. Or
I haven't got a leg to stand on. You've been driving to me for everyone. All my friends have been driving to me for the last 16 years.
Remember back in the days before the channel.
Yeah.
I used to get my fat ass TV and drive my TV to your house every 2 or 3 times a week and set it up downstairs so we could play Minecraft in your front room.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. And my Xbox has done more miles than most people have ever fucking done. It's insane. But yeah, that was something else we was going to do. We was going to look back at like our first ever video. We can do that next time. It's been 3 years nearly.
Yeah. I don't know when to. I originally thought about looking at some old videos. We did a stream the other day that is on the channel now, or it will be soon, which was our 3-year anniversary of creating the YouTube channel and on our social medias and stuff. Basically, 3 anniversary of having the idea and sitting down and creating the channel. And we did a big live stream with that, and I thought it might be fun to watch back some of our our very first videos, or our very first tank videos, our very, very first videos, our old Minecraft Let's Plays we did on stream, and doing like reacts to kind of thing. But we didn't do it on the stream, but it might be fun. I might have just to look into how we could do that. That might be quite a fun video, I think, if we sat down and watched a few bits and like we just... I don't know. I'm quite. If people would be interested in seeing that, maybe leave a comment and let us know. I think that'd be quite fun. That sort of video,
just a video, even if it's a one-off.
Yeah, just some cringy old shitty video we did. You can listen to how if you think we're bad now, we were
terrible.
We were terrible. We were learning. Like everyone is when you do something for the first time.
It's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. So yeah, I'd be quite for doing that sometime. I think that'd be good fun.
What was the other thing we wanted to do? Oh yeah, giving tips and advice. Did you want to start this podcast?
No, not really. I was just it was an idea. I was just thinking about maybe we can try and offer like a tip. I think I don't know.
I'm not. The problem was, well, obviously we've been playing this World of Tanks for over 3 years now, so we've accumulated a lot of knowledge. In-depth knowledge about the game, but my knowledge is subpar compared to Ben. So anything I say is going to be almost 100% wrong 100% of the time. But what I thought of, I could give Ben situations in tanks, because that's normally how I learn, is being in a certain situation in a game, and Ben's like, oh yeah, you should kind of reverse or do this side scraping. You're like, what the fuck is side scraping, bro? And you're like, oh, you do this little wiggity bit. You got to get the armor in here. And you're like, how do you know this? It's because the armor's better on here and all this doolally shit. So yeah, maybe we could... a good way of... but now I'm going to start going into this thing that we was maybe going to do. Do you want to do it? Should I give you a scenario and you can try and spitball an answer?
Yeah, well, throw something at me.
Right, now I'm thinking on the spot. Okay, before you even get into a game... and you've chosen your tank, what is there a checklist in your mind of what to do and what to expect to do before the game's even started? So you're loaded into your game, you know what map it is, you know what tier it is, what's going through your mind of how to prepare for the game? How do you decide of where to go?
Okay, so I mean, and even before I've even got into the game and loaded in, I'll have certain goals that are going into that, depending on what tank I'm using and why I'm using it. So I might just be playing something randomly for fun, in which case, I'll be playing purely for the win. I'll be playing to have the most fun, to get the win, to get the biggest result. But if I'm playing for,
say, a grind, you grind in a tank.
Yeah, and that'd be the kind of the same situation, but then you might, if I was grinding out marks of excellence, or maybe focusing on my WN8, but which is not something I particularly do, but marks of excellence, I'm focused on, damage and assisting, so the win, I know it's selfish to say, but the win will take less priority over how much damage and assisted I do if I'm going for marks, because that's how you get marks, because you don't get any bonus for the win for going for marks of excellence, because your damage standing is all that affects it. But anyway, I'll
digress on that later.
I'll stay more on point, but yeah, I guess once it loads up, I'll look at the map that we've got and the tank that I've got, and make certain decisions about. A lot of it is about places I know on maps that I like to go to, that I've had good experiences at before in that type of tank. So if it's a light tank, most maps I've got spots. For light tanks particularly, I've got spots that I like to go to with light tanks on most maps from most spawns.
So you're trying to play to the tank's strengths?
Yeah.
And would you know the strengths by just experience, or would you look that up beforehand?
By experience. I mean, when I used to look up stuff and reviews of new tanks I was using. I don't do that quite so much now, but then I play the game a little bit more of a lazy way maybe, but then I've also got a pretty good knowledge just from having played lots of different tanks in the game. There's a lot of general principles and things that are common about lots of different tanks that you can apply to other ones you use. But I think it's about the tiering of the game will affect, and what tanks they've got will affect how aggressive I feel I'm going to be. If I load in my Lycan and it's a tier 7, tier 8 game, I'll be like, right, come to daddy. I'm going to try and do a whole bunch of damage here. I know that, I know that at tier, I'm going to be pretty easily out spotting people. Whereas if it's a tier 10 game, I know that my spotting range is probably going to be on par with a lot of the enemy anyway. So I'm going to be relying more on camo to have that spotting advantage. I know that a higher tier game, there's people who can one bomb me, so I'm going to have to be careful about that. If there's a tier 10 game, and if there's deaths, if it's tier 10 game, I look and see if there's Death Stars or an artillery. That's basically what I check for, because Death Stars are the only thing where you're like, no matter how I angle my armor, they can still just do some damage to me regardless, no matter what I'm driving. But yeah, it's a difficult question, I suppose. There's
map awareness, would you say, was playing a key part?
I think map awareness is a huge
30 seconds.
Map awareness is a huge part of I think success in the game, and having decent map knowledge. And when I play on the maps, the new maps that I don't know very well, I just feel like I'm totally incapable of doing anything useful, because it's just
you don't know where the undulations are and where to kind of find a little pocket.
You don't know the lines of sight, and it's difficult. I think map knowledge, playing lots and lots of different tanks has really helped me over the years. Just playing loads of tanks, because all the tanks that I've played the most, I also can do the best against, because I know what their weaknesses are. I know their rates of fire. I know, how quickly they can turn. I know if I can circle them or not. I know, all these different things. I think something a lot of people suffer from is poor map awareness during the battle. So, people not really, they won't reposition during the battle. They'll just go one way and that's it. Whereas, I'll be looking up, think, okay, well, that side's going to fall. I can pull back and support that, or we're definitely not going to win this side. So, I'm out of here. I'm going to go back and try and, cover where I can. And
don't be afraid to retreat, I think, is quite a key thing as well.
Yeah, don't be afraid to retreat, and also don't be afraid to defend your base. I know not many people do that. I find so often I'm like the only one who'll go back and defend a base when it clearly needed defending, and I'll be in some slow-ass tank. There'll be much quicker tanks who are miles away from our cap and should have got back and defended. And
noobs!
Yeah, but, that's one of the reasons why I like tanks over, like, first-person shooters and Call of Duty and stuff, is because it's not just about your twitch reactions. It's not about reaction speed. It's about knowledge. And so I can, older people, can compete with the kids who've got much better reflexes than me and reactions than me, because you can use your knowledge of the game to do better. It's not you're not if you're some amazing, like, Shroud-esque FPS player, it doesn't mean you can play water tanks and just, like, you have amazing aim and speed so you can just shoot everyone, because you still have to sit there and reload. You still have whatever armor you have, and Yeah, that's why I like tanks, because it's it's a little bit slower, it's tactical, and you can use knowledge a lot more than you can use reaction skill. I think
I have to think of another question for next week or next time.
Yeah,
bringing us on going from noobs. Well, that's a nice segue into.
That is a good segue. So I was speaking to my good buddy Jack the Ripper the other day. He dropped me a message about a clan. I don't know if it's a new clan or if they're just kicking things off again, but
what's the name of the clan?
I'll tell you. Let me see what Jack said.
Barry's Boys.
It's called UKSQD. So basically they're a clan that's going to do, I think it's a thing, I think Jack wanted to do a similar thing with Uni, but I'm not sure if they ever really did it. But basically they're a clan that want to take in like noob players, or people who are maybe mid-range players that want to improve a bit. They want to take in, good high-end players, and basically the idea is they're going to pair up the sort of the more experienced players with the less experienced players and have a kind of mentor mentee kind of thing where they will try and help people get a bit better at the game. So that's the kind of vibe. I'll just read out the thing that he's got written here so you can get that. It's a guy called War on Tour on the forums. I'll put a link to this in the YouTube description of the video if I remember. But he said, the UK squad, UK SQD, Xbox, social and competitive. We are recruiting noobs, improvers, mentors, competent players who want to platoon, and those interested in the competitive side of World of Tanks. If you want to make the effort to master the game mechanics and develop your decision-making skills, then your attitude is more important than what tanks you have in your garage. And they've got English speaking with a mic, able to say in party chat, over 18, good attitude. Played less than 3k games,
ASL,
and a bunch of different stuff. But so I thought that sounded interesting. If you're a new player in the game and you want to play with some more experienced guys and learn how to play, then I'd recommend checking that out. That sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know the guy running it personally, but it sounds like a great idea. And I think Jack said he might be getting involved in that as well. So yeah, it sounded like a cool thing. Happy to...
It's very positive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. So there's a lot of, you often get a lot of toxicity in gaming communities, so it's nice to see, positive things like that, trying to, help newer players or help players get better at the game rather than just either moaning about players being shit or just sending players abuse when you think they haven't played to your standard or whatever,
So yeah.
As is very, very common in gaming.
If you see him in game, give him a little thanks from us. Little blip blip.
Little bit bump.
Little
what
kiss.
Else? Congrats to Klaus Kellerman for hitting 20k subs.
Shout out to Klaus.
He just hit that very recently. And thanks. He gave us a little mention in his video for giving thanks. He put out on 11.9. He put a little thanks to
what a great guy.
A bunch of different people, but he mentioned that. So thank you, dude.
Top dude.
Big fan. Watch a bunch of videos. He's a good guy. We'll have to get him on the podcast one day. I did actually, when we were almost recorded this the other week, and then we kind of didn't in the end. And I was actually messaged the day before just on a whim. I was like, I spoke to Fosh at Tankfest about getting involved, and I messaged him, and he was like, I can't make tomorrow, but he did say he's up for doing another time. So
sweet.
I decided not to pester anyone about today because we haven't recorded it for a while. So I think we have plenty to talk about anyway.
Yeah, especially when you get a coffee in me.
But yeah, I'm really keen to start getting a guest in to join us every now and again soon. So I think Fosh would be a really good guy for it. I'd really love to have Klaus on sometime to chat. I think that'd be super fun. We'll have to figure out with time zones and stuff.
Yeah. We'll get Jingles on maybe sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure Jingles will be up for it, and and some of the guys from the console community, like Captain Beardface, like Jack, like all those good
guys. Get B in there, maybe Beyond B.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to chat
some non-tanks guy.
Yeah,
huge
for sure. Just talking games really. Maybe we can get fucking Chewy in here and be like, there you go, Chewy. Here's a microphone.
Talk business. You guys like Chewy, right?
Yeah.
I'll
Chewy Cracker off the Pugba videos.
Our guy.
We haven't done any for a while actually, but there'll be some more. There'll be some more soon.
But yeah, I'm not sure when it's coming out on console, Pubga.
Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's confirmed as it's going to come out on the early access program, a bit like Arc did once the Xbox One X launches. So which is confirmed as being this year. So I guess that's going to be
Christmas probably.
Yeah, well, it's going to be October or November, isn't it? Because they're going to get it out in time for people to buy for Christmas presents,
true.
Which is
soon.
Autumn, which is soon. So I predict they started taking pre-orders for it this week. not sure if they've got a date yet, but yeah, it's going to be out soon, so that's really exciting.
I'm trying to cut.
Kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
As I said, I'm trying to cut back a bit on PUBG. I'm starting to feel myself get a bit burnt out.
Don't want to burn out. Yeah.
I'm like, I want to wait for this new map to come out so I can really enjoy it. Okay. But anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, I feel I'm still learning. I got a lot to learn, but I know what you mean. It's good to check yourself sometimes because you can burn out and then you just have to not play it for ages, and
then you play it again, you get a taste for it. That same thing happened with tanks. Like we probably hadn't played tanks for a year or so, and then we started playing tanks again when we started to
doing
kind of record it for the channel.
Yeah, I'd taken a break for a good 5-6 months. I hadn't played the game at all before we did videos for it.
You kind of forget why you love the game, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, yeah, I remember this feeling. Getting a couple of kills under your belt, a few of those clutch games, why not? But I suppose, PUBG in that sense is more instant gratification, where it doesn't matter if you win or not. It's more about if you can kill a guy. If it's a win for me, anyway. If I can kill a guy who's trying to kill me, it's a win. So I'm kind of...
Yeah, I kind of feel like if I come out of it with a win or some hit points damage, I'm like, yeah, fine. I'm happy with that.
Meh.
I think also for PUBG, it's because... and for both of us, because we don't play FPS on PC until now. I used to.
That's right.
10 years ago, and Lam has never done before. So we're both very much, there's a huge amount to learn for us, in terms of just our reactions and firing guns and dealing with recoil and spotting targets and aiming with a mouse and keyboard and all this stuff. So that's I feel like that's holding off Burnout because there's still, I'm always being rewarded I'm always improving at the moment. As the more I improve, then the more relaxed I can be when I play, and I can, try and chill out a bit. And
I wonder if they're going to start doing squads and stuff like that on PUBG.
How do you mean?
Like how they do with clans they do on World of Tanks. So you can be in a certain clan and you have a clan tag.
Okay, yeah, because squad, you have squads, so you're a little four-man. Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be quite cool. I think you could do clan battles and
little beard clan.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
But yeah, very very excited about that coming out on Xbox when it does. I think a lot of people will be playing it from our community, from the console community in general. It's taken PC absolutely by storm.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, so that kind of segues into me. So I'm also, what's nice about the PUBG release is I'm going to be off work for when that happens. Because I'm finishing up on my job this week. From the beginning of October, I'm going to be off work, at least until the new year. So that's going to give me lots of time to do... I want to do lots of live streaming, and we're going to up the video schedule a little bit as well. I'll wait and see how things balance out. But lots of streaming and some more videos. But yeah, that's really nice. It's really nice to be off work when PUBG comes out, because it means I can hammer out some cool videos on it. I can do some I can live stream a fuck ton of it when the day it comes out, and all this cool stuff. And hopefully that might get a bit of momentum on the channel, which should be...
When was the last time you had any kind of significant time to kind of dedicate to the channel off? It's got to be over a year.
Oh, well, when I had time off before work.
Yeah.
It was over a year ago, yeah. This will be a year I've been working in the current place when I finish. So it's been a year that I've been working full-time and doing I've had Mondays off for a little while, so, it's not ridiculous.
You had your little Japan break and whatnot, but...
But yeah, it's very much, squeezed in around... work and life and all that kind of stuff. It's like having a kind of, I don't know, fairly rigorous part-time job going on in the side as well as your normal job. So like a very enjoyable one that you can be quite flexible with, but it's still, and it's like that. And I think, and something I was thinking about the other day was kind of noticeable this week. And I'm not sort of, having to go at people who, if people want to leave negative comments, it's not a big deal. But, it was kind of noticeable the last month or two, because we sort of reined back loads on content for August, because it's fucking August and we're people, so in England, in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's busy. People are on holiday, you're doing stuff with your friends, your family. It's busy. August
really
is
busy in August.
So we barely did any videos in August, and then for the last month we've done pretty much battle beards only, because we had a nice little rhythm of being able to keep on top of that, and it's it's content people always seem to enjoy. So I felt like people would be if they had to deal with one type of video for a month, I think battle beards is the way to go.
It's not a bad sacrifice.
But But what I was going to say was, it was interesting that once you're delivering a certain schedule of content or a certain quality or a certain frequency of content as a channel, most people will probably just see, you're a YouTube channel that delivers content. They don't see any other, aspects outside of that.
No.
So sure, plenty of people do, but I'm the same for lots of video content I consume. I don't sit there thinking about, I wonder, what he does for his day job, or if he does this as a job, or maybe I do a little bit more than because we do it, but I think, so when people get used to that, they get used to, having a clip of the week video, having a Road to Tier 10 video, having a Battlebeards video, having maybe 7 videos a week or a video almost every day. And then when you suddenly rein that back, some people get pissed off. And, and it's interesting because for me, in my mind, I see it in a bit more of a long-term way, because I'm like, okay, we're kind of, we'll chill things out for a couple of months. It's a busy couple of months. We'll just keep, we'll keep some content going to keep people happy.
Just keep it ticking over.
Yeah, keep it ticking over. Keep the core fans happy, but be reining back on certain things. But you only have to do that for 2 or 3 weeks, and you'll probably get people who are like, "Where's this?" And it's like, "Oh, come on, guys." Which is fair. It's definitely it's good for people to criticize, and even when people leave really shitty arsehole criticism, it's kind of fine in a way, because if you leave a shitty comment, calling me shit, I don't really give a fuck. It goes into my brain as like a negative comment on a video. It's not like, oh, the person said me thing. It's just like, oh, this is interesting.
Attack, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not personal. It's just they're just looking at a video and reacting to it. And but yeah, it just kind of goes in. But it's useful because you're like, okay, well, we did this type of video and it got some negative comments, so that's interesting. And that might not necessarily mean we're not going to do that type of video anymore. We might think, oh, that's funny, or that's good, or it's it's a laugh, or they were wrong, or
it's only one comment as well. It's not speaking for everyone.
Yeah. When when you have 5,000 people watch a video and 2 people leave a mean comment, then it can't really guide you. But it's it's interesting. I think I don't want to discourage people from just writing what they feel. Obviously don't be a complete bell. I prefer people to bell into us than they are to other people in the comments.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't like it when someone leaves a nice comment and then someone just comes along and says something arseholish to them.
Yeah,
that annoys me more than someone just calling me an arsehole. I'm like, fuck that. I can deal with that.
Calling us an arsehole or saying negative things or expecting certain things, then it shows that they've got a passion for the channel, which is a good thing, because they're like,
that's true.
We
they
miss
care
it.
enough
we miss this content. We want more, which is really it's really flattering in that sense. Obviously,
it is. And and I found something I remember talking about before. I can't remember where, but where a lot of the time when people leave comments that read are quite hostile, quite mean, or quite insulting, but if you just reply with something kind of fairly neutral or nice or whatever, they'll respond with something perfectly civil. You'll see in the next video leaving a perfectly normal comment, and I think it's either younger people or
Hormones.
People with not great communication skills. They say really reactionary things, but they don't really mean it in a I really hate you, and there's just no filter. They just say silly shit, and if you react in a really negative, aggressive way, then it really it just escalates. Whereas if you just don't react or you just chat to them, they'll probably just be like, they're just a fan, and they're just But like you say, it's hard good to see that passion.
It is. It's great. Well, obviously, it's not like I'm getting off on him like, oh yeah, fucking talk dirty to me, you subscribing bitches. But it's sometimes also they don't, when people seem to leave comments, they don't think of the other person on the other side actually being, it's going to be a really weird way of me putting it, but of being like an actual person on the other end.
Yeah.
But when that person actually starts to respond and actually acts like a human being, then they're like, it's not guilt. They're like, oh, okay, I can't get away with calling them a twat.
Yeah.
Unless they're a fucking psychopath and they love it and they're just a troll, then you laugh at them, and what I do is you imagine what they're typing in just a hillbilly voice or like a children's voice, and you're just like, oh, actually, it's just fucking, you're just saying this because you're hurting inside and you've got nothing else to do with your life, and you feel sorry for him in the end. But that's the very, very small vocal minority.
It's rare too. There's very little toxicity in the comments we see. I feel we've been very lucky in that regard.
Our subscribers, they're great guys. They've all got beards. All love beards. And so you're all great guys. Thanks for sticking with us.
Thanks, guys.
For 3 years.
So something I was thinking about was if you've listened this far, I'd be interested to hear what people think, because once I'm off work, I'm doing a bunch of live streaming. Particularly in those first couple of weeks, I'll probably just do a whole bunch. Just because it's the first time I've been off work since we've had the subscribe button on Twitch, which is not that it's not all about money and stuff. But if I'm when I'm off work, I'm gonna go back to work. I can't. We're nowhere near in a position where
hitting the streets.
Yeah, there's no. I'm able to take this time off work because I work as a contractor in software development. I've worked for a full year. I've saved up some money, and I'm going to use that money to supplement the fact that I'm going to be taking loads of time off work and playing YouTube. And the money we make from YouTube and Twitch, is a few quid, but it's it's absolutely a million miles off being enough for even one person to live.
Yeah.
Let alone two at this stage. So having that extra motivator, not to want, I like streaming when I have time anyway, and it's just fun. But it's nice when I'm gonna be off work, having that motivator of the subscription button to drive me to do it more, to experiment with how we can make a subscription be an appealing thing to people, and. It's just it's another night. I'm very goal orientated. It's nice to have that. It gives me some focus, gives me some drive. So I'm really interested in trying to grow the Twitch channel into something really cool. Trying to find a nice balance of live streaming with personal life and it being flexible, and trying to build up that subscriber base and seeing where it can get to. And because I didn't before, when we didn't have it, I didn't like the feeling that the only monetization around it was donations, because I feel like I'd rather have like 100 people just paying like a couple of bucks each, like you do for a subscription, or $5, than a few core people who are throwing loads of money at us in donations. I'd rather have because it's in the same way. The ideal situation would be we could just make a living and do it full time off YouTube ads, because then it's kind of free for everyone, and then turn off don't need donations from anyone, totally fine. But
that time's gone, I think.
The YouTube ad revenue is garbage these days. But yeah, so that's interesting for me. I'm really looking forward to seeing where we can drive the channel. What I was going to say was I was thinking about what I'm going to do in those streams, particularly the World of Tanks ones. What am I going to do there? If I'm going to be doing some long streams during the day, in the evenings, I'll probably try and I'll grind out my Road to Tier 10 lines again on PS4. I want to finish those off.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I would shortlist I'd favourite up a few tanks on Xbox that I want to maybe try and get 3 marks on that I haven't done, which is quite a nice motivator, rather than just sort of sitting there with my garage and thinking I'll just pick random tanks, play random games. It's nice to have like those sort of goals. So I thought that might be fun. I could do a stream where I only use tier 8 premiums and I see how much silver we can make in a day or something like that.
You can have a goal. You have to get this amount.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you give.
I'll go and wear my Jimmy Savile t-shirt and eat a chili. But I was going to put, I wanted to put that out to you guys. If anyone had any ideas or thoughts on, what you'd like to see on a stream when I'm streaming a bit more. It might be during the day when you're at work or school. It might be in the evening when you're home and you're able to join in, or just curious what people would be interested to see. Because I think a lot of people's streams probably, if I'm doing a 6-hour stream, I think most viewers are probably just popping in and out for a bit of time. They're not sitting there for 6 hours. You do a long form stream and people drop in for maybe an hour or something, or 2 hours. So yeah, interested to hear what people would like. It's something we can feel out as time goes on and see what goes down well. But
any other games that they'd like to see as well? Any other
games?
Not just World of Tanks. I'm sure Ben's more interested in playing more than just World of Tanks or PUBG. There's he used to play, what was it, Ring World?
RimWorld I want to play. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna I want to keep a good chunk of the content as World of Tanks for the time being, because that's our bread and butter. That's how a lot of our fan base is from that. I want to do a lot of PUBG, a lot of PUBG squads if possible. That's probably going to rely on my friends being out of work though in the evenings, so maybe some evening streams with the Lam or with Chewy or Wayne or all of the above.
Wayne.
But yeah, so other games. I sort of saw RimWorld as being a good one. I wanted to use some of the streaming time in the week. So I'm going to be off work, all the time. I'll have time. There'll be time, if I was off work and didn't have the channel, there'd be times where I'd be like, I'm just going to sit here and play RimWorld for 10 hours or something. Like the good old days. Or mine, where don't think I want to go back to Minecraft. But, there's the sort of game that's an absolute time sink. You sit there, think you've been playing it for an hour, and you look and it's been like 5 hours.
One more thing. You can, RimWorld, you was naming characters after people in the stream as well. That was pretty sweet.
Same sort of thing, those kind of simulation games, single player simulation games, I guess, or crafty games. But yeah, so I really want to revisit RimWorld. Play that on stream because I'm sure it won't. Obviously not as many people as Watch Tank's going to watch it, but I think there were plenty of people who enjoyed that, and it'd just be fun for me. I can sit there for a bunch of hours, just chat to people in Twitch chat, play RimWorld, hang out with the community. I think that'd be fun. Prison Architects on PC. I want to visit. I bought it, but I've never really played it. It looks like my sort of game to get stuck into.
I was thinking about getting stuck back into Terraria the other day. There's a huge new update. It's meant to be coming out next month.
I'd be up for playing that with you. It's a really fun game.
But I've also been watching it on PC, and like the mods that you're able to put into it are fucking insane.
It ruins you. Watching modded things on PC just ruins it. Doesn't
makes
it?
You so sad. You're like,
what do we have?
I wish I could just have a taste. Ash in my mouth. What about going back to Ark? You've ever thought about doing that?
I don't think...
Because that's now been fully released.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go back to Ark. I really love Ark, and I love playing it, but...
That's a time sinker.
I feel like, I would enjoy it, but if I come off work in October and I set up a new private fucking server for the 100th fucking time...
You don't have to do a new server.
On Ark.
Just dive in.
Just
get
dive
balls
in.
Deep.
But however I do it, that's how I'd want. I wouldn't want to play with randoms. It'd be shit.
Oh yeah, I suppose so.
So I'd get on there and it would be all my time would be gone. I'd just play that. I'd be like, I'd play it till ridiculous o'clock in the morning. I'd sit there playing it for it for like fucking 20 hours. I'd be like sweet writing this. I'm gonna have an alarm clock going so I can get all the full imprints on my bred dinos.
Oh my God,
you'd come on and play like 1 hour with me one evening when we're like gathering some thatch when we just started, and you'd come on like 2 days later to say hello, and we'd have like a 400-foot tall metal castle with a 1,000 T-Rex army or something.
So I've fallen behind a bit here. Give me some.
As is the curse of having like a non-worker and a worker playing the same always-on game together.
Old Queen bee over there and old worker bee over here, buzzing away at work. You gathering all the honey.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know if there's any games you'd like to see Ben play. I'm sure he wouldn't mind just doing it.
Yeah, let me know. We can have a good chat about it on Twitch chat and stream and stuff as well.
Just to do like maybe like a random evening every other week of let's play some random Steam games
cheap
that
Steam
are like
games
fucking 99p, like Chow with Your Dad or whatever the other ones were.
Yeah, maybe. I think there's certainly like decent games like RimWorld and Prison Architect. I think they'll swallow quite a bit of time.
Num num num.
So yeah, it's interesting. I'm very excited about seeing how we can, how that goes, how we can grow it over the next up until the new year, and the impact that PUBG release on console is going to have upon that. I want to get some more. We haven't done a PUBG video for a while. I've been playing it a whole bunch. We both have, but
we're not any better.
We haven't done a. I think we're a lot better actually. But we haven't done a video on it for a while, so we're gonna do a stream soon. Hopefully, I want to do a stream and then try and cut out some sort of. I just want to find a nice. I haven't got wholly happy with the way to present PUBG content as video content yet. So I think we need to have a maybe purpose recording sessions with it, where we're chatting a bit more and being a bit more chilled, or do like just a 2-hour session and then edit down from that. But that which will be easier when I'm off work. When I'm at work, trying to go through 2 hours of video and edit out funny bits or action bits, it's quite a time-consuming process, and it doesn't lend itself to like
especially
getting things done in short periods of time. But when I'm off work,
this is a way of time-stamping things while we're doing it. If we can remember getting in.
There was something I thought about the other day, was having like a pad here, so I can just when shit happens, I just be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, if you just look at the corner of the time, you're like, what, an hour 20. Bam.
Exactly.
But that's all in the future. We'll get around to that. What time are we at now, bro?
About 55 minutes.
Oh shit!
It's a pretty good time.
We're
Anything else you wanted to chat about?
I've been watching series on Netflix called American Vandal. It's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an actual documentary, but it's like a mockumentary series thing where a kid gets suspended.
Any spoiler alerts here? We cool?
No. This is the trailer.
Okay.
Fade in.
Cut to black.
Cut to black.
Enter stage left.
3 years earlier. A kid he's not suspended. What's the thing where you get excluded?
Yep.
From school for drawing spray painting 27 dicks on all the teachers' cards in the car park.
Nice.
And this kid is starting a documentary because he doesn't think that the kid did it, but this kid's got a reputation of drawing dicks on things. And then there's this thing where it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to kind of do it.
What's it called again?
American Vandal.
Cool.
And then there's this one point where it's like, oh wait, the balls don't have any hairs drawn on them. And then that's the key. That's the tip of the wedge.
That's the tip.
And then it just kind of opens up this whole thing that's going on behind the scenes, and it's not a real documentary. I kind of conned onto that straight away. The acting isn't that great because they're just kids, but it's just the story is so fascinating. I've got the last episode I'm watching tonight with Abby, and it's been such a roller coaster. But not only that, how on earth would you make Netflix make this thing? How would you? So if you went to Netflix and you had this idea of, okay, we're going to get film kids around school and one of them spray painted cocks all over the car, why on earth would Netflix say yes? What did they do? What? How ballsy of Netflix to be like, yeah, we'll take a chance with you. This sounds fucking mental. Why not? All the actors are going to be kids? Yeah, that sounds great. Kids and pool parties. Way!
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not, not the person to ask. It's outside my special area.
Special
area.
Just lie to me, Ben.
Something I was going to say that occurred to me earlier. I was like, do you think, because I imagine for Triforce, the Yogscast podcast, they will record that remotely from home or whatever over Skype or Discord, presumably. Do you think it would be easier, harder, or no difference if we were recording this remotely? This isn't setting you up to say like don't come round. What I'm saying is I felt like, because we sit here with our microphones in our faces, I sort of stare into the middle distance a lot. Occasionally I'll like lock eyes with Lam, and then I'll be like, I wonder how long I could sit here just staring at him. I don't know if you do you think it'd change the dynamic of the conversation at all?
It'd be hard to, because there's cues you get non-verbally, like physically, when someone's either come to the end of a sentence or a story, or there's a break or a pause. Yeah.
See what I did there?
See, you wouldn't get these little gems, would you? But it's hard to pick up on that unless you've got years and years of experience. But we haven't got years of experience of making fucking podcasts. We've got experience of just shouting over each other in a fucking video.
That's true.
But
I think we'd probably be okay at it.
It would be alright. It would it probably wouldn't run as smoothly, and the sound quality wouldn't obviously be as good. But it could be done, Yeah,
no, it was. I wasn't really proposing it as an option.
No, I'm just saying.
I was just kind of curious because I think probably more people record them remotely than don't. I enjoyed doing it here because it's nice to. I don't know. It's nice. I like it.
Podcasts,
like you say, I found it's because we did that. Well, I did. This podcast on Just for Lols channel the other week. If you haven't seen that, go and check out Just for Lols. He's a PC World of Tanks YouTuber, and me and
just great videos.
Aging Jedi. He does all these does shitloads of compilation videos of just like good. Funny clips and stuff. They're really good. He's a great guy. And also Aging Jedi, who's a pretty well-known World of Tanks PC YouTuber. We did this podcast on Lols' channel. That was really good fun, and we just recorded that over Skype on video chat as well. So we're on video. But yeah, it was really fun and fine. But I did notice that it was slightly more difficult and awkward to like when you were gonna jump in and out of conversation because you didn't want to interrupt, and also because there's going to be like a second or half second delay as well. So it's quite easy to sort of like go over each other or dead air and stuff.
You're like, oh no, sorry, no, okay, am I?
Yeah,
is it me? Find with I listen to a lot of podcasts, a lot, And all the top podcasters, all the best ones, they've always got their own studio and things like that. I think probably because of that reason, mostly because of the sound quality and things like that. When you've got interviews and things like that, they get people in.
Yeah.
It's all kind of done that way, and it's probably for that reason. Same with fucking radio and how it's always been. But it's like I said, it's not impossible, but it wouldn't run as smooth. Yeah, but it's a good thought.
Random thought.
It's a good topic for discussion.
Came into my noggin.
And the old brain juice got in there.
The old brain juice.
While he's having that big old poop. He's like, oh, that poop shook an idea out of me.
Yeah, we talked about a big poo I had in the...
I walked past a girl, a female teacher today in the corridor, and she definitely did a stinky fart, and she didn't know I was coming. You know, sometimes, I don't know if it's pretty different in school. I've got corridors and things. You go down the stairwell, it's like, oh, mate, there's a shit behind this fart, and it's going to stink. It's got to slither its way past, and you're like, okay, this is going to be... Let's get this done so I don't have to lay it. Or you do it in a group of students while they're walking down because they don't think that fucking guy has done it. They think one of their mates
put it on their mate. Yeah.
But yeah, this girl didn't know I was there, and she laid some
she laid a deuce,
some eggy deuce. And as soon as her face caught, I was like, she looked at me weird, and then I walked past her like, oh shit, and she put her head down and walked off as fast as she could. I was like, you dirty bitch, you're off to go and do a fat shit, aren't you?
You dirty bitch.
You dirty son of a bitch.
Wow.
But yeah, I feel like we're going to be broke. Next time I see her, I'm going to probably smile at her and be like, I know what you're up to. I know what you ate the other day. I can still fucking taste it.
Give me your number.
Give me your number, love.
Yeah, all right. Well, I think it's a good time to leave it.
That's great.
We've done an hour. Nice. All right, yeah, well, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back. Next one will probably be once I'm off work, and we can talk about...
The challenge.
Streaming and shit. And the challenge.
We'll talk about that then. Me and Ben and you guys can talk to us about that, and we'll get it laid down.
And I'll try and...
We'll throw the gauntlet down. We won't give Ben too much breathing space. You're not allowed to start trying to drive before. No reading up. No doing online courses. You got to keep this legit.
I'll do my best.
Now you know there's a challenge.
We'll try and we'll try and organise getting a guest in the next couple of episodes as well. I think I'd really like to do that.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
It sounds great. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Cool. Nice one.
We'll catch you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.